Well, what is in common between these three great composers is there is such an emotional impact, which you feel as an audience right away. Paganini, it was a miracle at his time. People were saying, oh my, how can this be? He's a devil. And Martinů and Janáček are, of course, much later and very different. But if you hear a piece by Janáček, he has a very particular, unique language, which you can recognize like right away. That must be Janáček. And he is very emotional. He uses small elements in his composition technique and puts them together like Lego stones. And he builds a big castle of sound. But it's very beautiful music. Martinů, who composed his Sixth Symphony nearly 40 years later than Taras Bulba, is also very interesting. Completely different style, little bit even a start of minimalistic episodes, but especially the sixth is very emotional and the end is just heartbreaking. It's so beautiful. What is really difficult in general with a program like this, we can say, is to make Janáček work. Because the notation of Janáček is very controversial. For example, he would say adagio, dopo c'è un allegro, but the allegro played slower. So what that means, non è chiaro. And the conductor has to make decisions, a lot of decisions, and sometimes even correct the score of Janáček, because his idea, if you read the score, sometimes it's not very clear. Luckily, I was working when I was very young, 6 years as a music director of the Janáček Philharmonic. So I'm very grateful the musicians of the orchestra taught me the style of Janáček, and I can give this information to the professori here in Palermo, and I try to help them to find a great style to play Janáček, because it's not so often played, right? What is really great here is that the musicians, my colleagues, they are very flexible. They are right away ready to react. They are very open. I suggest them. Also Martinů, of course, I have done many times. And they know that I have some ideas. I give them ideas. They can react quickly on it. And they give me back energy, which is great for me. And I'm very grateful about their sound. Well, all 3 points are very important, but I feel myself like an advocate of the composer, because nobody can defend the composer today. People can play the notes right or not, with emotion, without, but I try to bring out and to help the orchestra to bring out what was the intention of the composer. Of course, I see it through my glasses. It's subjective, but I try to be as much as possible objective to fulfill the will of the composer. And then this emotion, which we play in the orchestra, this is reflected in the audience. They can, I'm sure, enjoy this wonderful music.